Today's lesson is crazy cat behaviors. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to be talking about animals. And to be specific, we're going to be talking about cats. Lots of people here in Taiwan love cats. There are lots of places that sell cats. And they are very easy to take care of. They're good for apartments. You don't have to let them out. You can just have a litter box. There are problems with cats, but I think by and large, cats are easier to take care of than dogs.
Absolutely. We'd definitely call cats a low-maintenance pet. And actually, I read recently that the number of cats in homes in Taiwan just recently passed the number of dogs. So I guess for a long time, dogs were the most popular pets. But it seems that cats are now, and that probably is explained by, as Roger said, they're living in apartments. People are busy. Cats are easy to take care of. They can kind of stay on their own. They're also not so social, right? We often feel that dogs want to have their masters, their owners, their family around. But cats, if you leave them at home alone, they'll just sleep all day. But you might come home to find a few things a little bit different than how you left. And we're going to be talking about some of the crazy cat behaviors, strange things cats do that can be charming but also mildly confusing.
Okay, so let's begin our lesson by introducing this topic with the first paragraph.
Crazy cat behaviors. The internet is full of cute and crazy cat videos. Not only are cats among our most popular pets, but they also get billions of views on social media for their quirky antics. But have you ever wondered what makes cats tick?
"大家好，第一部分介绍形容词 quirky， 它的意思是古怪的或是奇特的。例如 Luna is known for the quirky clothes that she wears. Luna 以她穿的奇装异服而闻名。也可以说 Elton has a quirky sense of style. Elton 的品味很奇特。
Okay, so here in the first paragraph, we're talking about how cats tick, or what makes cats tick. We'll talk about the meaning of that in just a second, but basically it just means what makes them do the things they do. Now, the internet is full of cute and crazy cat videos. As you know, I don't really look for them myself. They are cute. My daughter shows me once in a while cats clawing at a window or something like that, or trying to chase something on a video screen or whatever. They are cute and they're funny, and if I see them, I press the like button.
Oh, you have to do that, of course. If you watch a lot of the videos, you'll see a lot more of the videos. That, of course, is how algorithms work. But yes, if you search out cute cat videos on YouTube, you'll probably have, I'm guessing, a few billion options there or something. So it says not only are cats among our most popular pets, but they also get billions of views on social media for their quirky antics. So that's absolutely right. We just discussed how cats are very popular here in Taiwan. They've recently become more popular than dogs as pets to own. And I think that's sort of matched or mirrored in many other countries. I'm not sure about in America, but I would bet that in a lot of places, especially places with big cities, cats are more and more popular these days. So yes, they are definitely much loved. But they also get billions of views, it says, on social media. So people watching TikTok, Instagram, YouTube videos, and things like that. What are they watching? They're watching cats and their quirky antics. That's a pretty good word to use for cats. They could be rather quirky. Quirky is sort of like slightly odd in a charming or amusing or interesting way. Eccentric might be another word that we use for that. If you have that friend who always wears two socks that don't match, you might think that guy's rather quirky. He dresses in a slightly strange and odd way. Nothing frightening, nothing disturbing or anything like that. Just slightly odd, weird, original, novel, unique, and eccentric in a very charming and nice way. And what are antics? Well, things that you do. Often we use antics for sort of when people are getting up to tricks, when they're playing pranks. You hear those kids that haven't seen each other for a while and they're playing and running around and screaming, and you're like, what are they doing in the living room? Well, they're just having a great time, probably being quite physical. Often when we think of antics, we think of people being rather physical, jumping around, things like that. So yeah, cats can do odd, strange things, in other words.
That's right. And again, the word quirky does mean weird, but weird is kind of negative if you get called weird by by somebody, they don't mean it as a compliment. But if they consider you quirky, they think you're okay, you're unusual, but in a playful, fun kind of way. But here's our question at the end of the paragraph. It says, but have you ever wondered, have you ever thought, what makes cats tick? And here, tick is not referring to the sound of a clock, tick, tock, tick, tock. We're talking about what makes a cat do the things it does. Yeah, what makes you tick? Yeah, what makes you do the things you do?
All right, let's find out more about cats in the second part of our article when we're going to be looking at how cats love to knock stuff over. Knocking stuff over. Cats sometimes use their paws to deliberately knock things over. This behavior likely comes from their hunting instinct. When they catch prey, they often use their paws to nudge their catch and make it move. Since cats instinctively love moving objects, knocking things over is also a fun activity. What's more, it relieves boredom and gains them attention from their owners.
第二部分看到名词 paw， 它的意思是猫、狗等的爪子或是脚掌。例如 My dog cut its paw on a piece of glass that was on the ground. 我的狗被地上的一块玻璃割伤脚掌。或者 If you hold out your hand, Janet's dog will place its paw in your palm. 如果你伸出手 Janet 的狗会把它的脚掌放到你的手掌里。继续介绍副词 deliberately 表示故意的或是从容不迫的。我们可以说 The politician deliberately avoided answering the reporter's question. 该政客故意回避记者的问题。又或者说 Gabby deliberately avoided bringing up the sensitive topic. Gabby 刻意避免提起这个敏感的话题。接着看到 instinct 这个单字，它是名词，它的意思是本能、天性或是直觉。例如The thief's instinct was to run away when he saw the police approaching him. 那名小偷看到警察靠近他时，他的直觉是跑走。又或者说 Many animals have an instinct to flee when they are afraid. 很多动物在害怕时有逃走的本能。再来看到名词 prey， 表示猎物或是被捕食的动物。例如 The poor worm became prey for the bird. 可怜的虫子成了鸟的猎物。下一个介绍动词 nudge， 指的是轻推或是用手肘轻推。举例来说 Brian nudged his son to wake him up from his nap. Brian 轻推在午睡的儿子，试图叫醒他。又或者说 I didn't know why that woman on the train nudged me until she pointed to my wallet, which was on the floor. 火车上的女士指着我掉落在地上的皮夹，我这才明白她用手肘轻推我的原因。再来看到动词 relieve， 表示缓解、减轻或是使宽慰。例如 Taking a deep breath helped relieve his stress after a long day at work. 在漫长工作一天后，深呼吸有助于缓解他的压力。也可以说 Omar took some medicine to relieve his headache. Omar 服用了一些药来减轻头痛。最后看到 boredom 这个单字，它是名词，表示无聊、乏味或是厌倦。我们可以说 Joe read comic books to relieve the boredom of his long flight. Joe 看漫画书来缓解长途飞行的无聊。也可以说 The hardest part about waiting for an airplane is the boredom. 等待飞机最难的部分是无聊。
Okay, so one of the quirky antics that cats have is to knock stuff over. That is fun. I've knocked stuff over myself before, especially when I was a baby. Babies do that, of course. They knock things onto the floor to see what you'll do or whatever. But in this particular case, cats love to knock stuff over or knock things over. And to knock something over just means to take something that is standing up and push it down. And then you'll have to put it back up again, like you want to knock over a bottle or knock over a lamp or something like that.
If you knock over a bottle or a lamp, that could cause a problem. The bottle could spill everywhere, the lamp could break. But yes, if you knock something over, you're kind of accidentally hitting it so that it falls on its side on the ground. Cats also knock stuff off things. They don't just knock stuff over. They love to knock stuff off things or push things off desks and things like that. I think most of us have seen this before, or I've even seen comics written about it, little cartoons about how cats love to knock stuff over. over. So let's find out. It says, cats sometimes use their paws to deliberately knock things over. So yes, cats do this sometimes, right? This is sort of common behavior, but not something that they'll do for hours every day, most of them. But if a cat is knocking something over, it has to use its paw, or its paws, if it's left or right pawed, because the paw is basically the hand of a cat. So we would use this term to talk about the hand or the foot, what we would consider hands or feet, on animals, but only certain animals. A lot of the hunting animals that we would think of, dogs, cats, lions, tigers, wolves, things like that, they would have paws, but we wouldn't use this term for the feet of, say, a horse or a chicken or a bird or something like that. Paws are generally for mammals and generally for hunting mammals. So if you think of cats and dogs and related animals, bears as well, we would talk about their paws being their hands, and they do this deliberately. They deliberately knock things over. If you do something deliberately, you do it on purpose. Of course, we've all knocked things over accidentally or by accident, something we don't mean to do. But if it's something you do mean to do that could be confused with something that was an accident, then we would often use this. So, did you deliberately forget to call me today? Did you do that on purpose? Did you plan and choose to do this? Or did you just forget and did it accidentally? So, deliberately is sort of the opposite of accidentally. Deliberately means on purpose. I planned to do this. This is what I was wanting to do. So, cats knock things over on purpose or deliberately.
Okay, so let's move on now to the next sentence here. It says, this behavior likely comes from their hunting instinct. Sometimes that word is presented in its plural form, instincts. Your instinct, of course, is the basic ability that you're born with. And some people think, yeah, cats just do this because they're born with this behavior.
When they catch their prey, it says, they often use their paws to nudge their catch and make it move. So this is what cats would do when they were back in the wild mainly, but also they would do it now. But this is something that's very natural or instinctual, if you want to use that word, that variation on instinct. It's just a natural behavior. When they catch their prey, they often use their paws to nudge the prey around. What is prey? Prey is what a hunter hunts. So when we talk about animals that hunt, that category of animals would be predators. So you put cats and dogs, bears, lions, sharks, any animal that gets its food from chasing and attacking and eating other animals is a predator, and the animal they are eating or attacking or chasing is their prey. So a prey animal would be something like a deer. Imagine a deer running away from a lion in Africa. The lion is the predator, the deer is the prey. So for a cat, well, we would typically guess mice or birds or something like that would be the typical prey of a cat, an animal that it hunts and catches and eats for food. So when they catch the animals they're chasing, their prey, a mouse, you can imagine, they often use their paws to nudge their catch and make it move. To nudge is basically to push something just a little bit, maybe even just kind of poking it or touching it, just to see if you'll get a reaction. You might nudge your friend if you want to catch their attention without speaking to them. Maybe you're trying to privately catch your friend's attention. You might nudge them with your elbow or the side of your arm. Also, if you've ever come home and you've found an animal in your home that's not moving, you might poke it or nudge it. Oh, is it going to move? Is it going to jump up and run away? So we can nudge things when we gently touch them or gently push them. Imagine a cat chases a mouse. It jumps on the mouse. It might bite the mouse. And then just to see if the mouse is still alive and will react and will run, will continue to try to run away, the cat might use its paw to gently touch or poke or push that mouse to see if it gets a reaction. And yes, we can use this word to nudge.
We certainly can, and maybe you've ridden on the bus or on the MRT and somebody sitting next to you is starting to fall asleep and their head falls on your shoulder or something like that. So it's a very awkward situation. So you might nudge them to let them know that they're sleeping on you and that they should move away right away. So again, this is what cats do with their prey. They nudge them to see if they're still alive, I suppose. And since cats instinctively love moving objects, knocking things over is also a fun activity. So that's one theory. They nudge their prey, so they also nudge objects as a result of that instinct. And also, it's a lot of fun. If you've ever had babies in your house, you know they have a lot of fun knocking over their baby bottles or whatever.
Exactly like that, yes. What's more, it says it relieves boredom and gains them attention from their owners. So cats do it because they like to do it. So what's more, we can use this in the same way we might use in addition or furthermore or also, that kind of way, just to add another valid or related point to a list. What's more, it says it relieves, nudging things off tables. It relieves boredom and gains them attention from their owners. To relieve is basically to take away something. If you relieve someone of their duties, you take their duties away. If you talk to your friend and explain all your problems, you might say, oh, I feel really relieved, right? I feel lighter. I feel like I've taken the problems off my shoulder. I don't feel so heavy with those problems. And of course, you can relieve yourself just by sitting down, taking a break, having a little rest, that kind of idea. So to take away something, probably something negative, something that's making your life harder, we would use this term to relieve. In this case, we're relieving boredom, just the state of being bored. If you're sitting around, you got nothing to do, there's nothing interesting going on, your mind is kind of running around saying, I want to do something fun. That is the feeling of being bored or boredom. So cats, they love to sleep most of the day, but some of the times they get up and maybe there's nothing to chase, there's nothing to do, there's no warm spot in the sun to lie down in and have another nap, so they start to feel a little bored. They feel boredom, so knocking things off of tables takes away their boredom in the same way that maybe for humans, watching TV, surfing the social media would relieve us of boredom. And as a further benefit, it gets them or gains them attention from their owners. Hey, what are you doing there, Fluffy, knocking that thing off my desk? And then you might go over and pay attention, pick up the cat, play with the cat, do something like that. The cat's boredom is now relieved.
Another way to relieve a cat's boredom is to play with the cat using a cat teaser or something like that. It gives them something to do. They're not going to be bored. So if you want to stop them from knocking things over, yeah, play with them from time to time with a cat teaser. Okay, we're at the end of the second part of our lesson for today. Let's move on now to the third part and talk about that peculiar behavior of cats when they crawl into boxes. Let's listen.
Climbing into boxes. Cats love boxes. Often, the smaller the box, the better. We've all seen videos of cats squeezing into boxes, but why do they do it? The main reason, again, has to do with hunting. Cats are often able to catch prey by hiding in small spaces where they can't be seen. Boxes also make cats feel safe and warm, not to mention that they're fun to play with.
Okay, so yeah, what is this all about? Why do cats like to do this? They like to climb into boxes or other small spaces as well. They do that for some strange reason. And let's find out what this is all about. So here it says cats love boxes. Often the smaller the box, the better. So if you want to help the cat relieve its boredom, yeah, get a box or keep some boxes from a recent shipment you got through Shopee or whatever and see what the cat does with it. Set it on the floor and the cat, of course, will come over and start to sniff it and eventually it will try to actually get inside of the box.
Often the smaller the box, the better. Absolutely. We can often see seemingly large cats squeeze themselves into very small boxes, and this is kind of saying they actually prefer smaller boxes than medium or larger size. They'll kind of find the smallest box they can squeeze into, and that will be their favorite. So the smaller the box, the better. When we do this sort of ER adjective, the better, or something we prefer, we're basically saying this is the way we would like it if we could choose. So it's often with comparative adjectives. If you're saying, oh, I'd like to go on holiday, but I don't have a lot of money, so the cheaper the better. The more cheap the holiday is, or the cheaper the holiday is, the more I will like it, the more I will enjoy it. That would be my main choice. Okay, so if you're talking about a birthday party, you might say, oh yeah, I'd love to have a birthday party, but the quieter the better. I don't want a big blowout party with 50 friends there, just a couple people out for dinner. The simpler the better, something like that. So the smaller the box, the better. That means basically, yes, small boxes would be what cats would prefer. We've all seen videos of cats squeezing into boxes, but why do they do it? Yeah, so cats do this. I know my cat, anytime I get a delivery, as Roger mentioned, with a shipping box, the cat will love to play with the box. They do all sorts of things. They'll sleep in it, they'll hide in it, they'll scratch the inside with their claws as well. They love to do that. So why? Why this fascination and sort of passionate relationship between cats and boxes? What's going on?
Well, the main reason, again, has to do with hunting. Okay, just like when they nudge their prey, they like to get into boxes because of hunting. Cats are often able to catch prey by hiding in small spaces where they can't be seen. So they're stalking their prey and they're squeezing into small spaces so that the passing rat or the passing squirrel or whatever will not know that the cat is there. And then the cat will come out and pounce on their prey. So that's why they do this. They hide in those small, cramped places so they can't be seen. And boxes also make cats feel safe and warm. That's true. Sometimes you can put out a box in the winter for the cat because cats are very susceptible to cold weather. Even though their bodies are covered with fur, they get really cold in the winter. So yeah, have a box ready for them. They'll crawl inside of it to be safe and warm.
Sounds pretty good to me. And yes, it absolutely is one of cats' favorite places to be. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on expensive cat toys or expensive cat little boxes. You can often just buy a cheap cardboard box, and the cat would prefer that to whatever toy you ordered inside that box. Just skip the toys, go for the boxes.
And not to mention here, we finish things off, they are fun to play with. So not to mention here means this is something we should also mention. We can also say this, those boxes are fun to play with. And of course, kids love to play with boxes as well. So maybe kids are kind of like cats as well. Okay, we're at the end of our explanation for today. Let's listen now to Hanny, our beloved cat-loving Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第3部分提到猫咪喜欢箱子，通常箱子越小越好。文中是用到 the smaller the box, the better 来表达说箱子越小越好。那这个句子使用了双重比较级的句型。双重比较级是用来表达两种情况之间的消长关系，表达越怎么样就越怎么样。那么句型会是the 比较级主词加动词，逗号 the 比较级主词加动词。其中这个比较级可以是形容词比较级或者是副词比较级。例如 The earlier you start saving, the sooner you can reach your goals. 你越早开始存钱，就能越快达成目标。那补充一下，如果这个主词没有指定对象，而且动词是 be 动词的话，我们可以省略掉主词和 be 动词。就像文中句子这个 the smaller the box the better， 这个 the better 后面它其实就省略掉了主词和 be 动词嘛。还有一些特定惯用语也是如此，像 the sooner the better 越快越好， the older the wiser年纪越大就越有智慧。那其实这一句就类似我们中文说的姜是老的辣。好，另外是在双重比较级的句型里，比较级的部分也可以用形容词比较级去修饰名词，像是可以用到 more 或是 less 去修饰不可数名词的数量，用 more 或是 fewer 去修饰可数名词的数量。例如 Is it true that the older you get, the fewer hours of sleep you need?年纪越大，需要的睡眠时数就越少，这是真的吗？好，那我们课文呢，它接着解释了猫咪进箱子的原因。它有写到说 The main reason again has to do with hunting 主要的原因还是跟狩猎有关。那这边要介绍的是 have to do with 加名词，这是表达与什么有关和什么有关联。那么 have 之后呢，还常常会加入修饰语来表示关联程度。像我们可以说 have everything to do with 点点点，跟什么密切相关， have something to do with 点点点，和什么什么有关联，或者是 have little to do with 点点点，去表达和什么没什么关联，或者是 have nothing to do with 点点点，去表达跟什么毫无关联。好，举例来说 I'm not sure what she's upset about. I guess it has something to do with her boyfriend. 我不确定她在不高兴什么，我想是跟她的男朋友有关吧。好，再看一个例句是 Your attitude has everything to do with your happiness. 你的态度与快乐密切相关。好，另外还可以用到 want nothing to do with 去表达不想参与，不想跟什么有任何关系。例如 She wanted nothing to do with their plan 她不想参与他们的计划。那这个句子其实也可以说 She didn't want anything to do with their plan 好，那么以上就是今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Paw. Myra gently touched the rabbit's soft paw. Deliberately. Neil deliberately ignored Jasmine's phone calls all day. Instinct. Animals must generally rely on their instincts in order to survive. Prey. Unable to run, the sick zebra became prey to a lion. Relieve. Gary relieved his stress by taking a walk. Boredom. Wanda felt a deep sense of boredom during the long meeting. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I am Roger. See you next time.